And now we are going to talk about expert advisors strategies in general. It's either manual trading simulation, and that's what I'm going to be talking about in this video, or the expert advisor algorithmic style, which means that these are the only two types of strategies that are out there. It's either you are going to simulate a manual trading, which means that you are going to set a stop loss, take profit, break even, just the normal stuff that you do as a trader when you are trading on a very specific chart. So you decide, for example, that this is a range, and whenever, because the range has respected this point once and twice, it's going to be respected here the third time. And what you're going to do is you're going to sell at very specific lot size. It's either fixed or auto. And when I say auto, that's going to be calculating the percentage of the balance, and you set your stop loss right there. That's the stop loss, and you set your take profit at the low of the range. And you whenever, for example, you get to that 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio, you set a break even, or you move your stop loss to break even, and you start trailing your stop using some kind of trailing stop by points, by ETR, by moving average. It doesn't matter. So you're using that trailing stop, and you probably are going to exit half of the lot size at some point right here, and that's going to be your partial close, right? Or if in other words, if this is an indicator that finds ranges, so it gives you a sell signal here, and it will give you a buy signal here. So you exit at the opposite signal, which is going to be the buy signal at the low of the range. And that's exactly what manual trading simulation means. These techniques are going to be the expert advisor strategy, manual simulation trading, and that's going to rely heavily on the kind of indicator that you are using. The kind of indicator is actually what's going to give you that edge into being profitable, not the expert advisor as a lot of people think. So that's why the indicator is very important, and that's why I'm going to be focusing on indicators, and I'm going to be creating more indicators as we go. And if I find a better indicator than the trend breakout catcher, of course I'm going to share it with you guys. Now the second type of is the expert advisor style, or the algorithmic style. Now this is a much more advanced strategy or style of trading using the expert advisors, and that's where this is what gives really the expert advisors the fame, because now you can control a lot of things. And one of the most famous strategies about expert advisors that a lot of people actually are using, and I am using also, or I am having it as part of the Smart Universal Expert Advisor, that you can turn on and off. This is not something that is going to be used all the time, but you have control over it, which is the martingale. And the martingale means is a mean of loss recovery technique. So if we want to call these three with one name, like we want to find the title for these three things, the average, grade, and martingale, it's going to be a loss recovery. And what does this mean? Is that whenever the expert advisor is trading and it gets into a loss, what's going to happen is that the expert advisor has a set of conditions that are going to be trying to recover from that loss using averaging. And averaging is a technical word of opening higher lots trades in the same direction of the first trade in order for the the price to average in a way that the take profit is going to be closer to the current price. And that's exactly what averaging means. It's not something that is complicated. It's actually very easy. So for example, if we open a trade at 1, so let's say that the price is 1, so the price, we opened the sell trade at 1, the price went to 2 against us, we open another trade in a way that we're going to use a global take profit that is going to be closing the trade number 1 and the trade number 2. And what happens when we open another trade with, for example, double the lot size, is that we increase the level of the take profit, and we bring the take profit closer to the current price. That's exactly what grade, martingale, and averaging means. It's as simple as that. Now, when you are recovering from a loss, what happens is that you might fall into a drawdown. It's because when you are waiting for the price to, for example, to retrace and hit the take profit that we made closer to it, what's going to happen is because you opened a lot of trades, you're going to fall into a drawdown. Now you need some kind of a drawdown recovery technique that I have also included into the Smart Universal Expert Advisor. So you have the averaging technique, you have the drawdown technique that you can control. And the drawdown technique, or the drawdown recovery technique, has actually two types here. We have the reducing the drawdown, or reduced drawdown technique, and you have close all at very specific maximum drawdown that you can set by yourself. So you can say, for example, whenever the drawdown arrives to like 10%, I'm getting out of all the trades. So it's better to lose 10% than to lose the whole thing, right? So that's one thing. The other thing is the drawdown reduction, and the drawdown reduction is going to happen at certain levels depending on the configuration that you will set in the expert advisor setting. And what's going to happen is it's going to calculate the total lots that you have, and it will eliminate some lots here and there, so that the drawdown is going to be smaller and smaller and smaller with the time. So that's a technique that is also used in this kind of expert advisor style. Now the other thing is the hedge in, and the hedge in is something that means simply buy and sell at the same time. So let's say, for example, that you are using the trend breakout catcher, and it gives you a buy signal, and right after that it gives you another sell signal. So what you do is you take that buy and it's still not closed, and you take another sell. So you are taking a buy and sell on the same instrument. That's called hedging, and that's something that also helps with averaging the loss. Now we are taking a buy and sell at the same time, and then we're trying to average both trades in a way that is going to be beneficial in the long term, because the take profit is going to be closer to the current price anyway, because you see that the global take profit at 10 pips for both of them. So there is a higher possibility that both of them are going to close at 10 pips, which is going to be 20 pips. So that's also something that is included into the Smart Universal Expert Advisor. Now we have a lot of things that are included also, like the margin control, and you kind of control exactly how much margin that you can have in the account for opening a 0.01, for example, lot. That's something that you can control. You have the maximum lot filters, and that's something that is very interesting as well. So whenever you have two kind of maximum lots, actually, you have the maximum total lot, which is going to calculate the total of a lot opened, and it will limit that total at certain limit that you are going to predefine. And you have the maximum lot of any order, which means that if the order, for example, is 5 lots, it's going to be limited at 5 lots, and no lots more than 5 are going to open at that very specific point. Now the trading time in hours filter, as I said before, that's something that you can control. So you can say, for example, I don't like to trade on Friday, so I can set the filter to not trading on Friday. And you have also the hours filter, and that's something that you can control as well. So you say, for example, I don't like to trade from 10 a.m. to 12 a.m. or from 12 a.m. to 2 p.m. because that's the time where a lot of traders take their lunch. So not a lot of liquidity at that time. So you can set the expert advisor to not trade from 12 to 2 p.m. You have the news filter, and it's obvious. That's something that you can control as well. Using the DDL, you can actually, the expert advisor can read the news, and it can stop trading before the news and resume trading after the news. That's very interesting as well. Now the time between trades filter is something that also you can control. For example, you can set 5 minutes time between trades. If the trade is closed, you can wait for 5 minutes or 1 hour or whatever to open the next trade. That's also something that you can use, and it's very interesting. Now you have the maximum orders filter, or the frequency of trading. That's two types of maximum orders. You have the maximum orders at once. So for example, if the expert advisor is opening 10 trades, you can limit that at 10 trades, no more than 10 trades at the time, until like one is closed and then another. So you have 9, and a number 10th is going to be closed, and it's going to be limited at 10. And you have the number of trades per day, and that's going to be the total number of trades per day. So you see, for example, I don't want to take more than 30 trades a day. So whenever you reach 30 trades, the trading is going to stop, and it's going to be resumed the next day. You have also the maximum slippage and spread, and that's something that is obvious also in the expert advisor style or the algorithmic style. That's something that you cannot do in a manual trading, because, you know, unless if you are trying to read the slippage and the spread and trying to avoid it, but it can be done automatically, and the expert advisor is going to check the slippage. If it's higher, it's not going to open the trade. If the spread also is higher, it's not going to open the trade. You have a new technique that I added. It's called trade on a new candles only, because sometimes the trade finishes on the same candle, and then you open another trade on the same candle, and the results are going to be surprisingly different if you are doing the tests. And when you are using trade on a new candle only, the results are going to be better somehow. And this is a lot of techniques that I have, and I'm adding a lot more, and this is everything you have in the market. All the expert advisors have the same exact thing somehow in some combination. So what the developers are doing is they are setting some kind of combination, and they test that combination, and they give it to you. You give you one combination. What I'm giving you is access to all kinds of combinations so far, and I'm adding a lot more. And by the way, the same exact things can be combined, or what I mean is this: the manual trading simulation that I showed you here can be combined with the expert advisor style. So you can take from here, and you can also take from here, and you can combine the whole thing. As I told you, the most important thing here is not the expert advisor itself, it's the indicator. And if you have a good indicator and you are using a good set of combinations of these techniques, you are going to be ending up with a better expert advisor. And it's up to you to control that. You have access to every single thing. You can edit, you can customize, and it's up to you to control to control the expert advisor in whatever way you want. Just like that, you have your own expert advisor. This is what I am offering you.